Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Avengers issue 43. And I enjoyed this one overall. We'll kinda have to see how the whole Thor Phoenix Mama thing pans out. I I hope it's some kind of deflection or whatnot to try and potentially get Thor as a Phoenix host. I don't know, we'll have to see about that. So, this starts off, and we get the Phoenix kind of talking about its concept of how the universe came to being, uh, while Logan and T'Challa are fighting. The thing is, it kind of contradicts everything that's going on with, like, King and Black, because the Phoenix says that in the beginning there wasn't just darkness, because gods and men, they don't have a point of reference for the time before they existed. So the Phoenix is like, well, in the beginning it was just fire. That's fire. And it was pretty much content to be in its state until it hungered. So it decided to make an orchard of all these kind of things, mainly the planets. And that we, as people, are like worms on that stuff. The bringing up the whole celestial drippings and stuff like that. As T'Challa and Logan are going at it. Logan pretty much being like, listen, I just let this go. I'm adamantium. I got all this shit. Let me have it. And T'Challa's like, no, I'm not going to do that. And he's like, well, you got adamantium. I got vibranium. And it's all throughout his suit and everything. He's like, if anything, Wakanda's vibranium will be able to, like, channel everything with the Phoenix Force and all that. Well, the Phoenix Force then attempts to kind of, like, overload his ass. Logan does get him into a position where he's got pretty much two of his claws by the side of his face and be like, hey, I'll pop this one. Just stop. And he's like, well, I can't let you have this because you came into this thing with murderous intent, and he's got it even in his teeth. He'll be like, I'll be able to block that. Evidently, he's got, like, vibranium throughout pretty much his whole body. It's like, wow. There you go. And then he kicks Logan in the nads. And I'm like, yep. T'Challa's kind of played for keeps. And then says, yep, I'll apologize for all this shit with, like, a cask of, like, Wakandan ale and shit. But, I'm gonna do this. And pretty much knocks Logan out. Let's see here. Then we shift over and we see that Jane and Jen are fighting, and Jane's trying to get an idea of why Jen is in kind of like Hulk mode, saying that she doesn't think that Jane would have it in her to kill Namor, and that's why she's going as hard as she is. It's like, does make sense. She doesn't want Namor to have the Phoenix Force, and she's pretty much willing to go as far as she needs to. The kind of iffy bit we get is the Red Widow versus the Black Knight. This isn't really a fight, it's more of like a little kind of in-betweener thing. You know where it's kind of like in a tournament arc where you get that one kind of filler fight? This was it, and the Red Widow just pretty much like takes out the Black Knight like ain't nobody's business. There's not really much, it's like one page. And then, of course, we see the repercussions of the Black Knight's kind of fucked up and stabbed, and we get to Blade trying to figure out what's going on. He's trying to take care of the Black Knight. Of course, Eagle pops up, and he's like, Shanna, the She-Devil, and her freaking Fire Tiger, like, took my ass out. He's like, you better have some fight in you, because we're dealing with that over there. And then we see the rest of the Avengers dealing with the Defenders of the Deep as they're kind of going, like, hambo-jambo on everything. And it's like, shit. Let's see. We also get Thor and the Million BC Phoenix, pretty much talking about what's going on. She's like, yes, you were my son and all that kind of stuff. Thor's like, I don't buy this shit. My mama was Gaia and everything. It's like, that was the lie that needed to be told to you so that way you'd protect the Earth. Pretty much, I guess, alluding to the Phoenix wanting to eat it. And that evidently the Million BC Phoenix host committed the gravest of sin of making Thor. And that its whole kind of kerfuffling that's going on in its head and the way it's acting is because of its love for Thor, even though Thor's pretty much talking about how this doesn't seem like love at all. Let's see. Tony, of course, is here and is like, why can't anybody among us have normal parents? That was a pretty funny bit, talking about the whole thing and the whole situation. Ghost Rider Robbie is like, whatever he's saying, whatever the Phoenix is saying, it's kind of pissing him off. Carol, of course, was asking what was going on. They're like, oh, geez. Oki was trying to go in at the Phoenix Force and pretty much say, tell your dumb blonde god to get out of the way. And Tony's like, get out. This has gotten personal. And, of course, the Phoenixes try to do some kind of stuff. Says, hey, come here, Thor. It's like, I guess it's trying to find, like, the best kind of thing. And granted, Thor having the power of the All-Father, also being amped up with, like, the power cosmic as being a Herald of Galactus. Putting that all together with the Phoenix Force would be a very potent thing. I hope it's just a misdirect to try and get Thor as potentially a Phoenix host, though why he wouldn't have been put in with the whole tournament thing, I don't understand. They could make something out of this, but I'm kind of iffy on this at the moment. I'm like, alright, well, kind of have to see how this shakes out. Because I'd rather it just have been focused on, okay, the Phoenix Force popped down here, and we were just going to focus on a tournament and kind of have that kind of thing happen out. I don't know why we got this thing going on. Of course, Jane got knocked out of the tournament as well, coming in and being like, hey, yeah, I helped you. Does this, like, pretty much flying him away. Does this mean I'm still worthy of Mjolnir since I'm carrying you while you're carrying it? He, of course, is going, like, freaky, angry, unhand me. And she's like, hey, I fought Jen. She kind of had a similar look into your eyes. He's like, listen, I'm not... I gotta deal with some shit. This then gets us towards the conclusion where we see that Namor and Cap are talking it out. And Cap's like, listen, Namor, if you're going to do this, you're going to have to kill me. Namor's like, don't think I won't, like, break every bone in your body. It's like, he doesn't say that he would actually kill Cap. It's interesting. You gotta see that he's like, yeah, I'll do all these things to pretty much stomp the ever-loving shit out of you. But he doesn't say that he'd kill him. He does do his usual Namor arrogance and everything towards it, but we'll kind of have to see how that shakes out. Then, of course, the rest of the group start showing up. Shayna, like, oh, okay. Or Shanna is like, all right, 2-on-2, that'll work out. But, of course, Red Widow pops up, T'Challa. Then we also see that Jen's in the mix as well. And then they're divided into the final kind of tournament brackets. Jen's fighting Namor, Red Widow is fighting Shanna, and it's then Cap and T'Challa. And, of course, Cap makes the comment, hey, you don't think the Phoenix will let us shake this out with, like, rock, paper, scissors, dude? And it's like, nah, it's got to be claw and shield here. And then the Phoenix Force is, of course, talking about how a new Phoenix will be born soon because of the results of this tournament. So we'll kind of have to see how that kind of works out. I'm kind of leery on what's going on with the whole Thor is the son of the Phoenix Force kind of thing, and I would have rather just had it been, hey, here's a fun, weird-ass kind of tournament where all the heroes kind of battle it out to see who'd be the new Phoenix Force, and see what the kerfuffle with the rest of that stuff will go. So we'll have to kind of see how this kind of ends and shakes out, because we know that we've seen with, like, solicitations that it'll lead to the Heroes Reborn thing, so we'll kind of have to see how that goes. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.